I thought I would try to continue with Patrick's Landing story. So this would be chapter 3, episode 12, and on the other episode we stopped at the word water. Patrick's Landing by Marie D. Henry, 2010, copyrighted. The heat from the fire soon brought the water to a boil. Having put about a cup or more of dry tea in the water along with lots of sugar, they watched it carefully. When they thought it had boiled enough, they would remove it from the fire and let the tea settle in the bottom. Then they would call as loud as they could, "The tea is ready, come and get it." One by one the men found their way to the fire, and standing within its heat, they dipped their tin mugs into the pail and drank the hot, sweet drink slowly to help them keep warm. It was here that they also ate the lunch that the cookee, who stayed with the cook in the cookhouse, had made up the night before for them. Often when it was very cold, they would not keep warm, even with the heavy work and the fire and the hot tea, and then they would have to return to camp to the much displeasure of the company boss. Oswald was glad of one thing, and that was that the winter days were very short, and once it began to get dark, work for the day was finished. And as tired as they were, the cold and the promise of a hot supper and the heat of the bunkhouse, despite its infestation, made every man walk faster. December was turning out to be a month of strong easterly winds that often made the trees fall not where they were notched to fall, but into the trees that they should have missed on their way down to the ground. Mr. Doucet had to risk life and limb several times during the first half of December, and Oswald admired the man for his bravery. He would watch with held breath as the old man climbed up huge leaning trees and sawed off the part that was snagged into another tree. Several times he would get the tree started towards the ground, only to have it snag again. And he would have to climb down to it and use the bucksaw to free it. As Oswald watched him at work from a safe spot on the ground, he marveled at the old man's courage and woodman's skills. Oswald wondered how he had acquired such skills and decided to ask where he had learned to climb trees so effortlessly, even at the age of 60. It was the best paying job in any lumber camp. That was understandable, as it was the most dangerous. Even so, he determined he would try for that position after Christmas. "I will ask Mr. Doucet to put in a good word for me with the boss, and a sure way to get the old man's support is to go visit his daughters," he told himself.